Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast. Have a seat. Lay your feet up and take a beat. Getting your attention because I want to catch them all. Digging what you got like I'm playing volleyball. Got me all excited that we're about to start. Get your questions out because it's time to question Mark. Welcome everybody to the Question Mark podcast, where we have more questions than answers. I forgot my intro there. I'm your host, Mark Lee. And with me today in the guest seat, we have Mondo.
Hello.
And our moderator, as always, is the lovely Maymays.
Hello. Oh, I usually could see what these are, but now I can't see it.
My bad. I forgot to set that up. But,
Your
I mean, I
fault.
think you... Go ahead and push them one time.
And that's a fact.
Stop the cap.
That's all I wanted.
That's all you need. Okay.
We need new producers on the show.
It's Mondo, so I'm
Stop
just
the
gonna-
cap.
So in the moderator seat, she will be paying attention to the audience or the viewers. So go ahead and ask your questions, make your comments. If anything is pertinent to the conversation, we'll go ahead and give me a question. It's the purple one there.
Question.
Yeah, so you'll hear that if there's a question, and then that if there's a comment. So just a reminder, guys, if you guys are watching on Twitch, go ahead and subscribe on the YouTube. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, go ahead and follow me on Twitch. And if you want to do further support the podcast, go ahead and connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and give me a subscription on Twitch. That will be free because you get a free Twitch subscription every month with Amazon Prime. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and go and talk to Mondo. So,
Yay.
So if you guys do want to reach us on our socials, mine is at GGMarclee. That's GG Mark Lee. Mondo's is actually on Snapchat. And that's at, I don't know if Snapchat uses at. I don't use Snapchat, but it's Armando_Wick. That's ARMANDO_WICK.
Like John Wick.
Like John Wick. And for May, it's at MAYEMAZE. So at Maymays. Speaking of your what is it? Your Snap? Is it because of John Wick? Is that one?
Yeah, I think when I made it, I had just watched John Wick.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I'm pretty cool like John Wick.
Okay.
So why not?
Self-proclaimed. Self-proclaimed.
I'll be here all night.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and go into our icebreaker. You ready for this?
Not really.
You know
No.
who it's from, though, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Not excited.
Everybody, you can see it on the screen right now. He doesn't know this yet, but it does come from. Can I say significant other?
Yeah.
Okay. It comes from his significant other. I mean, I already said it, but I don't know why I asked.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Teresa, and that her Instagram is at TERESANNNE. So that's triple N's. And she provided the three names for our Fuck, Marry, Kill tonight: Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos.
All right, I'm killing Mark. Right off the bat.
All right.
Yeah. He spies on us way too much on Facebook. And then you said Bill Gates.
Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos.
I'm going to have to marry Jeff Bezos because I can just go to an Amazon warehouse and take what I want. Yeah. And he goes to space. I want to go to space.
He goes to space?
Yeah.
He spent like $2 billion just to launch up in the air and come back down, right?
Yeah. They just like broke the atmosphere and then came back down.
Yeah.
What the?
$2 billion.
Yeah. He was trying to
From what
race
I've heard.
Elon Musk.
Really?
Right? Who can get to space first or
I
something?
don't know. The only reason I heard of it is somebody else was talking about it, and like, this is an absurd amount of money to spend on something that you didn't need to do. Like,
I mean, when you got the money, you might as well.
yeah, but scientifically, there was no reason for it. And the craziest thing is how these billionaires spend their money when, I don't know. I
It
can't,
ain't your money. I don't know why you're
I
mad.
know, I can't tell them how to spend their money. But I mean, it's do some philanthropy. I mean, I guess they do. It's just, that's pocket change to them.
Yeah.
The way somebody explained it to me was, imagine them buying $1 million stuff, right? For them, that price range is like us buying something that's $100.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about that their $1 million compared to us is probably $100.
One time I saw this thing that said Jeff Bezos doesn't schedule any meetings till after his lunch.
Really?
Yeah, so he can just wake up whenever he wants because he feels like he wakes up whenever he wants and not an alarm. He's more productive.
Oh, that makes sense. I guess when you do wake up on your own time, you do you it's like you finished your REM cycle. I don't know if your REM cycles. So that's like every hour and a half. And so when you wake up on your own time, you're just like, okay, cool, I'm well slept.
Mm-hmm.
But when the alarm sometimes wakes you up in the middle of a REM cycle, so
you wake up dazed.
Exactly.
Confused.
Yeah, so it's crazy sometimes where like I was reading, there was a watch or something that you could wear while you sleep. And so you set your alarm on your phone, say you had to wake up at 5 a.m., right? And you went to bed about like 9 p.m. The watch would wake you up the closest time to 5 when your REM cycle ends. Like it monitors your REM cycle when you go into deep sleep.
What kind of watch was that?
You know what? After I read it, I was just like, I couldn't find it again. Because I was like, that's actually pretty interesting. Like if it actually wakes you up at the end of a REM cycle, closest to the time you'd want to get up, you're like, oh, okay, cool. I feel good. Yeah, I'll wake up right now. So that, if you guys know what I'm talking about, send it over to me. I actually might want to look into buying that.
I feel like Apple would do that.
Right? You would think they would just add an app.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, purchase this app $1, and it's free for the rest because it's just basically an alarm.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So you were saying you would marry Jeff Bezos.
Of course.
And so that means you'd fuck Bill Gates.
Unfortunately.
He likes that old man.
Well, I mean, this list
you gotta
was
do what you gotta do.
The list was a bunch of old men. So, and speaking of the list, though, like that's exactly what I would do: kill Mark Zuckerberg. Not for the reason you would. I don't. I mean, I don't care if he spies on us, just because we gave him consent to.
True.
If you don't like that, get off Facebook. And then marry Jeff Bezos because hell, man, he's a billionaire. He's the richest man right now.
Yeah.
Right. Second is Elon Musk, but I think someone was saying it's because Elon or Jeff Bezos owns more of his company than Elon does.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I or the other way around. I don't know what makes you more money.
I saw a thing as well that just on an interview with Elon Musk, and he says he takes no days off because if he takes a day off, he can't make money.
I thought they passively make money.
Well, they do, but like make more money. Yeah,
I guess it's all about the race to stay number one, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck Bill Gates because he is rich. Maybe he'll pay me a little something too.
Throw a Lamborghini my way.
Exactly. Hey, Bill. Thank you. All right, so let's go into getting to know you a little bit more. So let's start with how old are you and where were you born?
I'm 25, about to turn 26 next month, and I was born in Fallbrook. If you know where that's at.
Fallbrook, California.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. How'd you make your way from Fallbrook to where you are at now?
So from Fallbrook, when I was probably I don't know how old, maybe in kindergarten, we moved to Lake Elsinore.
Yeah.
And then from there we moved to what was it? The year 2000.
Okay.
We moved to where my parents are at now.
And that's
in Paris.
Paris. Okay. Yeah. And you went to high school in Paris?
Yeah, Paris High.
And what year did you graduate?
2014. So I was in Paris from first grade to I graduated.
Oh, okay. So you were there for quite a long time.
Yeah, the majority of my life.
Okay. And what was your first job?
I work security at Amazon. So maybe that's
Really?
why
Maybe
I'll go with Jeff Bezos.
there you go. Hey, you put in the work already.
Yeah.
So after what made you go into Amazon as security?
I was going to school, like college,
Uh-huh.
and they were hiring for security. And
Okay.
they like did this thing at our school. Then I was just like, I might as well.
Was it like an employment fair?
Something like that. And it like, I mean, it's just a security job, so you
Yeah.
had like zero experience, you get hired.
Oh.
So it was
I
just
see.
like let's make a little money.
Yeah, and was that like just sit? Would you have like a kiosk or something?
We would check to make sure the employees weren't stealing from Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah, so when they would go on their lunch breaks or go home, we could like check their bags on their way out. Yeah.
Wow.
You think a millionaire would not care about $5 or something?
Yeah, I mean, but that's how he gets his billions.
How he keeps his billions.
Exactly. So when you said you were in school when you got that opportunity to do that?
Yeah.
And how old were you?
Was it 19, 20?
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
So so you got your first job in college.
First like official job, yeah.
Okay, what was unofficial?
I used to work for my dad building greenhouses. He would
Oh,
pay me under
that's
the table, yeah.
Really? And does he still do that?
Yeah, he still does that. He owns like his own business building
Oh,
greenhouses.
that's neat.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you enjoy that?
Not really. I hated it.
Yeah, I get that. Just
Construction,
because
hard labor.
Yeah, as a kid, you're just
Yeah.
like, I just want to go out and play.
Exactly. I want to go hang out with my friends in high school, but I'm over here building a greenhouse.
I love greenhouses.
Well, yeah, greenhouses are awesome, but you go into it after it's built.
Yeah.
Well, building it is the laborish part. So now you're considered reserve.
Yeah,
The
Army
military?
Reserves, yeah.
Okay, so how did you go from security to the military to reserve?
So I just quit security. Like I was feeling, I don't want to say depressed,
Mhm.
but there was like a day where I was just feeling down,
Mhm.
and I just walked away and I was like, I quit.
Really?
Yeah, I texted my boss and I was just like, hey, I'll see you later, man.
How long did you do it? For the
Probably
security
like
job?
a year.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, so it wasn't like too long.
yeah.
And then continued school. Then after graduating, I was just really bored one day.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to ruin my life. So I went to a recruiter's office and signed my life away.
Oh man. So okay, so technically the military was your second job.
Yeah. Second job.
So one day you got bored. You're just like, hey, let's go to a recruiter's office and see what happens.
Basically, so like at that point in my life, I was like, I don't want to say unmotivated,
Yeah.
but I was like, I got to do something with my life. Like I'm about to turn 22.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to do. I knew like the career field I wanted to go into, which is like federal law enforcement.
I see.
And I was like, I need something quicker because, the hiring process could be up to a year. And I Googled recruiting offices near me. And then I found an Army one, or I found a like recruiting depot where they have all the different branches in like a shopping center. And it was 30 minutes away. And I didn't really want to join. So since it was 30 minutes away, it made me feel like, I don't want to go out of my way to drive over there.
Yeah.
So I Googled again and I found an Army one like right down the road from my house.
Oh.
So I was like, screw it. Let's see what the Army has.
Uh-huh.
And I walked in there and the recruiter's like, oh, so you want to join the Army? And I told him, I was just like, no, I really don't. But I'll give you your chance to sell it to me.
Okay.
And then 2 weeks later, or about 3.5 weeks later, I was in Fort Sill at basic training.
And so, okay. Can you go over a little bit on what the recruitment process is like for the Army?
Okay, so first they have you take the ASVAB. Like you have the chance to take it when you're in high school.
What does ASVAB stand for? I know a lot of people talk about ASVAB, but
I have no idea.
oh really? Yeah,
It's like an acronym.
here, let me go ahead and look it up for us then. All right, so the ASVAB test, it's called
And there's like aptitude or something in there.
Jesus, they don't Okay, Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Why is it called battery?
Because it's the military. It makes no sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so first you take that.
Yeah.
And there's not really a perfect score to it, but there's like, I think 8 categories. You know, it tests like your general knowledge in like mechanical stuff, computer stuff, just different random things. I'm not sure what all of them are. And you take it, and then it gives you an overall score, and then it gives you individual scores for each category. And then based off the individual scores, it tells you what your best fit is job wise for the military.
What if you're just guessing?
Honestly, so the test when I took it, first I took a shortened version.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, you got selected to take the full version. And the full version was like a couple hours. And yeah, I was guessing through it. Towards the end, like the second 2.5 hours in, I was just like, it's this one, this one, this one. So
it was on a computer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're just like, I just want this to be over with. Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
I just started clicking through the answers.
Okay, so you take the ASVAB test. What was
the ASVAB, and then you go to MEPS, which is like the Military Entrance Processing Station. And then I went to the one in San Diego. And then they do like full physicals on your body.
Was it the same day or it was another day?
This was another day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they do like full physicals on you to make sure you're like capable of being in the military. And, you don't have like a third arm growing out of your back or something.
Or heart murmur or something.
Yeah, they check all your medical history. They check like your eyes, your ears. You do a drug test. And then they let you just go.
Okay.
And then the next time you go, you swear into the reserves. Because even if you have like a 5-year contract, active duty, you still owe the military like a total of 8 years at minimum.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my contract was 3.5 years. And then, you subtract that from the 8 years.
Yeah, so that's 5 years in reserve.
Exactly. So first you swear into the reserves, and you sign your contract. Then I got to go home again. And then I think 3 days later I went back and I swore into active duty. Then I signed my active duty contract. And then the next morning, you took me to the airport. You stay in a hotel, sorry. So the second time I swore in, you stay in a hotel, you go swear in, you come back, and you stay at the hotel again. You're not allowed to leave the hotel. Like, the employees of the hotel know, like, these kids
aren't allowed
I guess, people on this side of the building are not allowed to leave. Yeah. Because, they're the government property now. And then they take you.
So do they, is there like some kind of weird, what is it, like, instances where people are just like, I'm gonna step outside, like, and then they just watch you or something?
We were allowed to go outside, like in their back patio,
but not in the front.
But not in the front.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you guys have an officer there?
No, it was just the hotel employees.
Oh,
yeah, they're just like, yeah, you guys can't leave.
The employees would do that to you.
I mean, they're getting contracted out by the military to house all of us there.
Was this a certain hotel chain?
Yeah, it was Embassy Suites.
Oh,
yeah. Maybe I shouldn't say that because now they're getting.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's happened to a lot of people. The military is pretty open, I guess. Yeah. I mean, they don't really hide anything about the recruitment process, but it's just I've never heard of this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people, that don't have. Well, you might have military family, but they don't know what the recruitment process was like. Yeah. Especially back then, it might have changed. So I don't know. So they house you there.
Yeah. So after my second swear-in, I was at the hotel. You wake up like at 4 a.m. And they take you to the airport before like there's even any flights, and they take you to the USO, which is like I'm pretty sure people have heard of like the military lounge.
Yeah.
Airports, which it's called the USO.
Okay.
Then you just stay there until your flight comes up, and you have like. All I had was a manila folder with my contract and my medical history and my 2 flight tickets. And then my basic training was in Oklahoma, in Fort Sill. So I flew out there, and then you land at the OKC airport. And then, they gather everybody up because there's a lot of people coming in that day to join basic.
Yeah.
Or basic training. And then they throw you all on the charter bus, and they take you to the basic, and then you're at basic training.
Okay, and the basic training is usually what, 6 months?
It's 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Yeah.
10 weeks is 3 months.
3 months.
Oh, okay. So it's not too bad.
No. And it goes by pretty fast.
Do they have you like do a NDA on like what kind of training goes on there?
No. Once you get to your job, like once you do all your job training stuff, for my case, my job was classified. A lot of the information was classified secret. So when you first get to like an actual operational unit, when you first get there, they'll have you sign an NDA, and then when you leave the unit, they'll have you sign it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But as for the training itself, it's
no.
You could talk about it.
Yeah.
How was the training?
It was like when I was there, it was the worst time of my life. But leaving it, I was like, it's probably the most fun summer camp I've ever been to. You know, you get to shoot guns if you like guns, right? So that's pretty fun. You do a bunch of obstacle courses, and you're just hanging out with your buddies.
So, okay, you do these obstacle courses, right? You run it through, say you go first. Do you just wait till everybody does it again?
No, so during basic combat training, they really emphasize like teamwork. So you always start together and finish together in like everything you do.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And when you go for basic training with, because I don't know, you said Army, so you were only in basic training with other Army people?
Yeah, only Army people. So I don't know what like everybody else calls their things, but yeah, basic combat training is only Army.
Oh, okay.
And the base I was at was only
strictly Army.
Yeah.
Okay. I know my dad was in the Navy, and we have the Navy exchange down in San Diego. Does the Army have something?
Yeah, we have a post exchange.
Oh, it's called post exchange.
Post exchange. And then the Air Force has one. I think there's is called the base exchange.
Oh,
yeah. So they're all the same, little different.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. And so each base is different.
What do you mean by that?
Because you wouldn't have a Navy exchange next to a post exchange, right?
No. So like the next or the Navy exchange is only on naval bases and like Marine bases.
I see.
And then all Army bases have post exchanges.
That's interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah.
All right. So now that, after you joined because the Army was the closest, the recruitment office to you, that's what kind of pushed you into go into the Army?
That, and I thought that the military or the Army was like the most laid back, but still like, what would you say? I didn't want to join. I'll go out. I didn't want to join.
Okay, let's go.
So I didn't want to join the Navy because even in like movies, they give that stereotype of like, they question their sexuality.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're just like, oh, it's the Navy.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that.
Because a lot of people call them seamen.
Exactly. So I didn't want to do that. And then you see the Air Force, and they're just like these snobby rich kids. I was like, that's not me. That's not who I am.
Okay.
And then, so it was like the Marines or the Army. And I was like, the Marines are always running around like brainwashed, like, oh, I want to go do something crazy. I was like, that's not me either. And it's like the Army's like, oh, we do cool things, but we're like laid back. So I was like, oh, it's the Army. We're gonna do the Army.
So when you go to a Army recruitment station or recruitment building, do they also tell you about the other branches?
No, so they got to meet quotas.
Oh,
so they will like tell you like, oh, who cares about those losers down the road? Just stay here.
All right, so it's kind of like a I would say like a basketball team where like, say you're on the Bulls and the Bulls is trying to recruit you, and then the Pelicans are over there trying to recruit you too. So they're like, nah, don't talk to those birds.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I remember when I was in the office, there was some other guy who was like, oh, I got to go talk to the Air Force recruiter. And then the recruiter was just like, don't waste your time. And they started like, I don't want to say degrading this guy, but they're just like, you're not cut out for the Air Force. You're not smart enough. Don't go over there. You're going to waste your time.
Really?
So the guy's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just sign up here then. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay. Personally, how do you feel about these recruitment processes? Like, I feel like as a military, it should, for me, sorry, I'll jump in first. I just feel like, shouldn't they be supporting each other?
You'd expect that, and it's like really sad to see like when you see new people at your unit, right? And they're just like, "Oh, where do I get my bonus?" And then to come to find out they don't have a bonus. The recruiter just lied to them and said like, "Oh, we'll give you $20K and just join," but their contract doesn't say that they're getting a bonus. Or they'll say like, "Oh, my recruiter told me I get to go to Germany." Like, "Oh, your recruiter has no power where you go."
Yeah.
So like that's unfortunate. They lie to you to get you to
sign.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, because there's a quote in the military. I don't know what branch it's for, but it was like united we stand, but divided we fall, or something like that.
I think I've heard that. I didn't know if it was like a military thing.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's from a movie.
Oh, maybe, but maybe it was a military movie. But I just feel like it's crazy how we're supposed to be a nation against another nation, but even under our own nation, we're so divided.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I always felt weird how people talk shit on other, or like each branch talks shit about each other branch.
It gets bad.
I know.
Sometimes some of the branches are stationed together, and there'll be like fights just because they're from a different branch. You have to establish dominance and like, this is my base. It gets kind of crazy.
You ever get into any of those scuffles?
Not with other branches, but like when I was in Korea. Okay, this is kind of bad, right? But when I was in Korea, my first sergeant, which would be kind of like your top tier manager, right, in like a corporate office.
Yeah.
He didn't like people like running around gossiping about each other or like, "Oh, he said, she said this." So he would tell us to fight each other.
If you had disagreements.
Yeah. So
okay, I thought just like straight up,
no.
"Hey, you guys are good today. Let's just have a fight."
No, so he would be like, "Oh, I'm tired of you guys arguing over here. Like, go outside and fight and then hug it out. We'll be good. We'll move on."
Really?
Yeah, so I fought a lot of people in the same uniform as me, but not.
Well, did they have a problem with you? You had a problem with them?
Like sometimes, you just, things get heated.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, "Oh, I don't want to be at work anymore." And people just start yelling at each other. And they're just like, "Hey, man, go outside." You just fight each other for a little bit. And they're like, "Hey, man, I love you."
Nice punch back there. Now, besides the military, well, after, you did your 3 years?
Yeah, 3.5.
So now you're in the reserves?
Correct.
So when did your reserve status start?
So when I got out of active duty, I had to change my job because the reserves didn't offer the same job. And my contract with the reserve started the day I graduated my new job training, which just recently ended. So my contract just started with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from your experience, is there any advice you'd give to somebody looking to join the Army?
Definitely go with the shortest contract.
Okay.
So you can get like a 2-year contract or a 3-year contract, because the military is not for everybody. And I feel like it takes a special type of person to not succeed, but survive. Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, go with the shortest contract just in case, you don't like it. It's like you just taste it, get a taste for it, and then you leave if you don't like it.
And you could always extend your contract, right?
You could always extend your contract.
So say you said the minimum is actually 8 years. Well, I mean, 8 years in reserve?
8 for minimum for what?
Or you're saying the contract for your service is 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years, yeah.
But it has to be made up between active service and reserve.
Correct.
So say if you go, can you go reserve for 8 years?
Yeah. So you can join active duty, the National Guard, or the reserves. And then when you get out, if you go active duty and you get out, you don't have to go to the reserves. You can join the National Guard, or you can do what they call the IRR, which is Individual Readiness Reserve.
Okay.
Where you're not in the military, but you have to maintain yourself to stay in the military just in case there's like a war. They'd call you back like, "Hey, you still owe us 3 years, so come back."
I see. Well, if you guys have any questions regarding, anything in the Army that this guy can answer,
don't go to the recruiter.
Go ahead and hit him up on his Snapchat. Other than that, what type of hobbies were you into growing up?
Growing up, it's always been dirt bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Dirt bikes were like number one.
It's funny because I told you when you first told me that, I was like, you don't seem like the dirt biking type of guy. Now,
Too much melanin in my skin.
So what got you into dirt biking?
So my 5th birthday, when we still lived in Lake Elsinore, my parents got me a quad for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say we lived in apartments. So we used to have to keep it at like a storage unit down the street. And it got stolen like a month after we got it, or after I got it.
From the storage
From
facility?
the storage unit, yeah.
Yo, did they cover it?
So our lock,
Yeah.
which we could only buy locks from them. We couldn't have our own personal locks on them. The lock was still on the like, I don't know what you call it, the garage door or whatever. And apparently like the camera turned off when it got stolen. So
Inside job, totally
Yeah.
inside job.
yeah. And you know, my parents felt bad for me. So my dad's friend was selling a dirt bike.
Wait. Let's rewind.
Okay. So like the quad it was gone, you know, we made a police report, nothing came of it.
There's evidence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't prove it just because there's things that point, you know.
That's
can't
so
point the finger.
stupid.
Yeah.
And what did the owners of the storage say?
They were just like, yeah, man, we don't know what happened.
It's
It is what
totally
it is what it
weird.
is. Yeah.
That is so.
I will fight someone.
All right, let's put them on blast. What storage do you know? What?
I don't even know what it's called. I know where it's at. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called.
All right. Where is it at? Don't use this place. What cross streets is it at?
I don't even know the road. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay. Yeah. Don't use any storage facilities in Lake Elsinore.
Near the lake. Don't go near the lake.
Oh, and the area near the lakes are pretty nice too.
That's what we thought.
Man, yeah. Don't use any storage lockers there. Put them all out of business. Sorry, guys, that didn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah, it ruined my childhood.
All right. So, you said after that they bought you a new one?
Yeah. So one of my dad's really good friends, his son rode dirt bikes, and he outgrew it, so he had to sell it. And I say when they sold the quad, it was like the best thing that's ever happened to me, because then I got a dirt bike.
Oh, okay. So you like dirt bikes?
Dirt bikes, way better than the quad.
Okay.
So then after that dirt bike, I think we lived in the apartments for like a few months after that, and then we moved to where we're at now in Paris. We have a pretty big backyard, so my dad started building me jumps in the backyard with my little dirt bike, right? And we could hear there's a motocross track in Paris, and we could hear it from our house.
Really?
So one day my dad was like, yeah, let's just follow the sounds and see if we can find this track.
Okay.
And we get there, and, you know, it was like a movie to me, like people hitting jumps, like these huge jumps in the middle of the night with lights. And I was like, oh, I want to do this. So my dad's like, okay, we'll like bring your dirt bike next week or something. And then we go, but the dirt bike I had was like this knockoff Chinese brand, right? So it was like really slow, but to me it was the coolest thing ever. So it wasn't fast enough to go over any of the jumps on the track.
It wasn't fast enough?
No, like
what was the max speed?
I have no idea, but I would go full throttle and like I'd barely make it over the hills. Yeah.
As the hill gets steeper, it goes slower.
Yeah, exactly. I had to like go around the jumps. But yeah, it was like the coolest thing to me. And then around the same time, we found professional races on TV. So then I told my dad, I was like I really want to do this. So we actually got a legit dirt bike after that.
Oh, okay.
And
what can a dirt bike set you back?
Back then, like one of those little ones, it's like $4,000.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay,
but the one I have now cost me $12,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's basically a car.
Oh yeah, you upgraded that. No, 12,000 is like a motorcycle, right?
I mean, 12,000 is like a cheap car.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I guess. Yeah, like one of those.
Like a Toyota Yaris or something.
Yeah, true. But no, those kind of get quite expensive if it's used. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Are dirt bikes street legal?
You can get some that are street legal, but the ones like I have, they're not. No, they're like off-road only.
I see. Okay. Any other hobbies that you do?
Besides that, just volleyball.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's actually how we met.
Yeah.
Now go into how you think we met and then I'll see if it's the same with mine.
Can we flip that? Because I know how we met.
Oh, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
So no, you go first.
Oh, okay.
Because
okay.
I know how we met.
Well, okay. So this was
And we talked about this yesterday. I feel like you're cheating.
you and May.
Yeah,
You and May talked
and I
about
talked
it.
about this
So
yesterday.
I don't exactly remember the specifics, but I think it was during the pandemic.
Hmm.
And that was, I think it was 2020, right? And we were doing grass volleyball because all the open gyms were closed. And you came, what is it? I think you were out of, or you were on vacation or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chema invited you over. Chema, the guy in the previous podcast. So if you guys don't know who Chema is, go ahead and check out his episode. Yeah, so Chema invited you over.
Mm-hmm.
And that was basically it.
Yeah. So I know more specifics.
Go
it
ahead.
was in December of 2019.
Dang, 2019.
Yeah, it was 2019 because I had just came home from Korea. And
That's right.
Wait, okay. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm confused now. The pandemic didn't start till 2020. Right?
no, it started in 2019.
Did it? When did we go to Philippines? Was that 2019?
Actually, no, yeah, it was 2020. I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
So it was December
Yeah,
2020.
December 2020. Yeah.
Okay. I was just like, yo, is my brain fucked up right now?
Yeah, it was December 2020.
Okay.
And what's funny is that Chema and I weren't really friends until that time I came home too.
Really?
Yeah, so
you guys knew each other.
yeah, I knew who he was. Like we went to high school together,
Okay.
and like I knew who he was, but we never said anything more than like, "Hey, what's up?"
So how did he get you to come to play?
Another
play?
mutual friend, Chunti.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know Chunti, you never will. We're never bringing him
Yeah.
on.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna cry.
So
or if we do bring Chunti on, I'm having Chema and Mondo with me.
you gotta have him in a straight jacket or something.
All right.
So it was like the second or third day that I got back home. Chunti was like, "Hey man, come over. We're like grilling at my house."
So Chunti, you were friends with Chunti in high
Yes.
school.
Yes.
And then he was friends with Chunti in high school.
Yes.
But you guys weren't. You guys just said what's up to each other.
Yeah, we were just volleyball acquaintances, to say the most.
So, okay. Let me get the age range. How is Chunti your age?
Yeah, Chunti and I graduated together,
Okay.
and
Chema
I've known him
is-
since the 4th grade.
And Chema is older, younger?
Chema, I think, is 1 year younger, 1 or 2
okay,
years
okay,
younger.
okay. All right.
So Chunti said, "Come over, we're grilling,"
Mm.
and I showed up, and it was like 2 other people and
Mhm.
Chema,
Okay.
and we're just like hanging out, and dudes don't really, or guys don't need a lot to have in common to be friends.
Yeah.
You just have to like, "Oh man, I like your shoes," and then
Yeah,
bam,
yeah.
you're like really good
Exactly.
friends. So he brings up like, "We should go play at the park." Like, "Mondo, do you still play?" And at that time, I hadn't been playing anymore.
Oh, really?
So he was just like, "Oh yeah, you should come with Chunti and I to play at the park."
Mm-hmm.
And then ever since then, like, Chema and I have been playing together.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, did you guys ever play on the same high school team?
No, I think I'm not exactly sure if he played all 4 years or not,
Mhm.
but my senior and junior year I was on varsity and he was not.
Oh,
And I think
see.
that's like the first time I ever saw him was my junior year.
Okay. Huh. That's interesting. So, yeah. So, we ended up meeting there, and
Yeah, and you still had blonde hair.
I did. That's right.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
No, I thought it was.
Stop the cap.
I thought blonde was okay. I didn't want blonde. I wanted more of like a salt and pepper kind of deal.
Okay.
But you know,
no, there was no pepper in
there
that.
was no pepper in there. Yeah. So. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, and
I
I've
don't-
been subscribed ever since.
There you go. What were you saying?
You guys had the ice chest with the water.
Oh, that's right.
And
Okay,
on the
so
top there was a QR code, and I was telling Chema I felt bad for taking the water, and I think he was like, "Well, then just subscribe to them." So I took a water and I scanned the QR code.
so if you guys, so the story is, when the pandemic was happening, we basically played volleyball at parks. We would set up a grass net, and May and I would bring a cooler with waters for everybody. And at the top of the cooler, I would put a QR code that led to my YouTube page, because at that time that's when I started the Pick Our Brains podcast with me, Claire, and May. And I would be like, okay, hey, I need at least 100 subscribers to get a customizable YouTube link. Because if you start off YouTube, they'll give you a link, but it's all like those random letters and numbers. But if you want it to say something like you get to pick what it says, then you need at least couple videos. I forgot what's the list that you need there. So yeah, I would put that on the top, and hopefully people that I was like, I don't want to push it, but you get a water, you give me a subscription. And, so that, yeah. Mondo was probably one of the first 100 subscribers to get me that customizable link. So
keep it real.
Thank you, Mondo. So this is kind of some questions I wanted to ask to, going back to picking our brains, to pick your brain, to kind of get the guests or the viewers or anybody listening just to know more about you, as well as kind of see where you're at as a person. So these might be pretty deep. So the first one is, what is your definition of success?
Oh, wow. That is deep. Definition of success.
Like, in your mind, what do you feel is success?
I would say when myself and my immediate family don't have to worry about anything such as like shelter or food. I feel like once you don't have to worry about your next meal or like the next 3 years of meals, I think made it far enough.
Now, okay, so does that monetarily mean you have all that money in the bank, or you have a job that can provide that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
No, I just like the thing is, these questions don't have right answers.
Yeah.
Everything is from your perspective.
Okay, I'll explain my answer then.
Okay.
So like growing up, there was a lot of times where like my mom and I would before my sister was born, my mom and I would be having dinner, and then my dad would just sit there and like watch us and eat a tortilla or something, or we'd eat like canned tuna like every day. So I feel like if we don't go back to that, then we're successful.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel that. Okay.
And that's a fact.
So, in a world where you have enough money to do what you love, what is your profession?
What is my profession? I don't know. Podcast host.
Do you think you actually? No. Okay. Does this not interest you, or it's not something you think you could start, or what do you think?
I don't know. I never really thought about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said profession, right?
Yeah. So in the world where you have enough money to do what you actually want to do, what is it that you're doing? What do you see yourself doing?
I don't know. Probably nothing. You get paid to do nothing. It's pretty good.
I mean, that's amazing.
To ride my dirt bike on the weekends and play open gym volleyball.
Well, okay. Here, let me kind of rephrase it. Say you have a year's worth of salary.
Okay.
What are you doing? Are you just waiting till that year's worth of salary runs out, or are you gonna actually try and do something that you love to do to try and make money in it?
Okay, you lost me. You gotta say that one more time.
Okay, so say you have a year's worth of salary, right? Would you hang out for a year, do what you have fun and whatnot, and just wait till that money at the end of the year? Okay, I'll find a job now. Or would you like do something that you love to do and see if you could make money in it before having to resort to that?
Okay. In a perfect world,
Yeah.
it'd be definitely dirt bikes.
Okay.
Yeah, dirt bikes like take up 90% of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was actually watching dirt bike races before I came here. So if I get paid to do that, then
So
that'd be it.
have you ever tried, are there commentators in dirt bike?
Yeah, it's usually like people who are really good and like are legends in the sport will retire and then become commentators.
But I think if you have enough knowledge, I think people with knowledge can break through anything, you know?
True.
Like, especially if people like the way you speak, your mannerisms, you know? I don't think you always have to be, because I guess you see it in basketball, but you see that there's people that on the the basketball network, or on that round table, you see Shaquille O'Neal, you see, but then there's also people that haven't played before. They
Sports
were
analysts and stuff.
analysts. Yeah. So it's just like, have you ever looked up into doing something like that?
I don't think the world of like motocross is big enough to have like analysts and stuff like that. I mean, they do, right? But I don't think it's big enough for a random person to be like a part of it.
Yet.
Yeah, I like that. Yet.
I mean, this is the ground floor, Mondo.
I gotta go.
Nah, so okay. So it's something in, you know, besides like being a professional in it, do you know what you would like to do in the dirt biking world?
No, just riding. That's it.
You
Yeah,
actually
just ride. Just
now, have you ever taken your shot or?
When I was younger, I was actually a lot better than I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had like so many sponsors and like
you had sponsors.
Yeah, like my dirt bike. So you actually put your sponsorships on your dirt bikes, like a billboard. And I remember I got up to 12.
12 sponsors?
Yeah.
And so what stopped that?
Wow.
I had like a really bad crash. And then it wasn't like necessarily that bad. Like it just knocked me out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was 12 at the time. And it just like scared me. And I didn't ride for a few years after that.
Really?
Yeah. Which thinking back like now, it was like, it wasn't that bad. I should have just kept riding.
But you know, as a kid, you don't know that.
Yeah.
You know, you aren't even fully developed at 12.
Yeah, to me, I was like, I got to go to school the next day. I can't be risking myself like this.
Dang. So you were like 23 at 12.
Yeah. I was thinking about my future job. Like, I couldn't do this.
You get to the crash at 12, you're like, can't pay my bills. My wife's going to be hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
My kids need to eat.
Exactly. High risk, low reward.
Oh, man. So now you do it recreationally. Is there any way recreationally you think you could make money off of this?
Motocross is like super, super expensive.
Yeah.
You know, like my dirt bike was $12,000. And to get to like big amateur events where you can make a lot of money, like it would cost me like thousands just to get it back. You know, like, so it's not really worth it.
I see. Man. I'm just thinking about it, you know, like like you talk about it, it goes into my head, and I'm just like spacing out. I was just like, how can we get Mondo to do this? You know?
No. So when I was in North Carolina, a group of friends and I, we just decided to enter a race because we used to ride our dirt bikes together. We're like, oh, let's go do a race because, you know, we're always saying I'm faster. So like, let's go settle this. We had to get a hotel because the track was 2 hours away. So we got a hotel. The race fees or the practice fees the day before, I think I paid like $80. And then the race fees were like, I don't exactly remember. We'll say $50 per race, right? And I joined 2 different classes. So I'm already like over $300, including maybe like $400 with gas and everything. And I crashed on the first race and I broke something on my bike. So then I couldn't race all the other races. So I just like threw away $400 and I didn't even finish the first race.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know how there's also coaches in it?
Yeah. I don't think I'm that good to coach.
Really?
Yeah, no.
But I'm okay. So the thing about coaching is you can always get better at it. You know, as you learn, so does the person you're coaching. Yeah. So you don't think
so like most coaches raced professionally, but like didn't make it into the big leagues, you know.
I see.
And like I said, after 12, when I stopped racing, it's just been like recreational after that.
Yeah.
So, it's like a lot of bad habits that I have on a dirt bike. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's unrealistic.
I see. Okay. Well, there's always something for somebody there, maybe.
Yeah.
So the last question is, are you where you thought you'd be at now?
Thinking back when or how far?
Thinking on like, okay, hey, this is my goal. Am I where I'm at right now to reach that goal?
But I mean, like, in what perspective? Like high school me thinking?
No. If you like you right now, thinking like, okay, you have a goal in front of you, right, ahead of you. Are you on track? Do you feel?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say I'm like. I mean, you got to be hard on yourself, right? So
Yeah.
I'd say like I'm a little bit under where I should be, but for the most part, I think I've hit a lot of the goals I've like wanted up till now, or at least gone like not to the goal, but somewhere near it.
Yes.
Right. So
Okay. So now my question is, now that you're in the reserves, you went to training for this new job, right?
yeah,
What position is it?
paralegal specialist.
Okay. So what?
I'm basically an attorney. If you need me, call me.
There you go. What do you see yourself doing in the future?
I really want to join the DEA.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my goal when I first got out of high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I really, really want to do it. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. Like, I might just do it for a year, but it's still a goal for me to at least try it.
Wow. Okay. Well, if you guys know anybody in the DEA that would need a assistant to, put your foot in the door, know where to reach him.
Thank you.
And if you don't know where to reach him, it's on Snapchat at Armando_Wick.
Or at 911.
So on the next time you're on here, do you have a movie we could discuss? Maybe something close to your heart?
Okay, I thought about this long and hard, and I couldn't like really think about something.
Yeah.
But to keep it with the military, because I knew you were going to ask me military-related questions, I came up with the movie Fury.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen it or not.
I think I have, but whenever, because I'm going my first time around with a lot of people, and we've never done a second round of interviews yet, so I haven't done a movie recommendation. So before, what I will do is the week before that you'll come on, I'll go ahead and let everybody know, hey, if you guys want to participate, watch the movie Fury. And then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my notes and whatnot, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do that.
Okay.
So Fury is is that Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Okay.
Brad Pitt.
I think I did see that.
And Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, yes. Okay. So yeah, the next time you come on, we'll go ahead and discuss Fury. So on that note, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. All right, and we're back. And so this segment is going to be where you get to grill me for a little bit.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Get your questions out, because it's time to question Mark.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the Beans and Rice podcast, where I'm the bean and he's the rice.
All right, love it. I love it.
All right. So we couldn't get a guest today, so we're just going to interview my co-host, Marc, a.k.a. The Rice.
Thank you.
All right. Question number 1. Why am I your favorite guest?
Oh, man, put me on the spot. All my guests are my favorite guests. Everybody that I invite here, even though I don't.
Stop the cap.
I was waiting for that.
No.
I'm the favorite guest.
No, the thing is, I truly love talking to people. And even though I do ask you questions that I've known, I like to ask them again, not only for the audience to hear, just to hear the story again. I like hearing about people's experiences. It's, I don't feel like any experience that I've heard was my favorite experience. It might have been for that person, but I feel like all this knowledge that you guys have been through kind of gives my mind a trip, and I get to hear about those experiences where otherwise you would have never told that to anybody unless, they ask these questions. And really, when do people really ask these questions?
Well, that was a really nice way of saying I'm not your favorite.
You're Teresa's favorite.
You're tied for first
Okay.
With who?
with everybody else.
Oh, no, that's not good enough.
No, I don't want that.
All right. Next question. This is hopefully it gets your mind thinking.
Okay.
How would you sell hot cocoa in Florida? 'Cause, it's really hot.
It is hot. The thing is, you would actually have to pick and choose when you sell it. Just like how department stores sell jackets during the winter and shorts during the summer. But they do sell it year round, but they give discounts on shorts during the winter and the discounts on jackets during the summer, just because it's like, oh, okay, it's not cold right now, but people aren't really looking for that. So if you're not thinking ahead, you're always going to pay full price. So that's the thing. You always sell it cheap during the summer when it's hot, and then you double your prices during the winter.
That was a better answer than I would have came up with. All right. This is a more deep question.
Okay.
What makes you feel motivated and inspired?
Me.
Well, okay. So besides family, an obligation, I feel like life itself is a motivator in the sense where I want more experience. I want to meet new people. I just want more. And it's not monetary. It's purely an experience where it's just like I can't get enough of learning new things, not from a textbook, from like people that have learned it already, the people that are in the field that have that experience. I like hearing stories, and that kind of motivates me to just learn more about people, because every individual is so different. Like, for example, say another person that joined the army was sitting right next to you, his stories would be completely different.
A complete lie.
So I think just my motivation comes from the hunger for experience.
Okay. This is a real one right here.
Were the others not? Because they all felt real to me.
So this one, when I was, it's called AIT, where I went to go learn paralegal specialist.
Okay.
Right? This one started a really big debate.
Sorry, what does AIT stand for?
AIT is Advanced Individual Training.
Ooh, shoot.
And
So you're giving me a what is it? An interrogation question.
No, not at all.
Okay.
This happened when the instructor wasn't present, so it was just messing around.
Oh,
But it
okay.
started a really big debate.
Oh, really? Okay.
Is cereal soup?
Okay, so let's define soup. Because there could also be cold soup.
Yeah.
Okay, so definition of soup is it liquid? Yeah, it's basically just liquid. Because it could be cold or hot. And thinking about it, why isn't water soup?
I was just about to ask that.
Because if you put water in a bowl, you drink it, is it soup? Because you use water as a base for a lot of these, soups. But just because you add ingredients into it, is that what makes it a soup? Or is it the liquid that you added into the bowl? So
I have to tune out. I'm getting confused.
I'm confusing myself because this question. Okay, so in a sense, it just depends on how you define soup. Just how there's
So define it.
For me, soup is savory liquids.
But can you not have like a sweet soup?
There can be sugar in it, but it's not technically sweet.
I guess come to think about it, I never had a sweet soup.
Yeah. You can add sugar into it, but it's never technically sweet. So I would say anything that's savory that uses water as a base.
Here it is. Definition of soup.
Oh no, you could use milk as a base too. Huh.
Yeah.
But cereal's not savory, it's sweet.
It is. A liquid dish typically made by boiling meat, fish, or vegetables, etc. in stock or water.
Okay.
Soup.
But the thing it doesn't say is you could also boil it in milk. Milk can be used as a base. And using milk it actually gives it the milky flavor.
Not according to my definition on Google.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yes, I made soup.
Yeah, okay. But if you think of, okay, no, that's true. Because, okay, if you cook ramen, it's soup because you use the broth. But, yeah, I think you know, I don't like how it only says water there. Because you could use milk as a base.
It says stock or water.
Yeah, stock or water. But it should also say or milk. You know?
But it doesn't.
I'm just saying.
So it's not a soup.
So that means if it's cooked with milk, no broth, it's not a soup. You add your meats, your vegetables, it's not a soup.
I don't like this question.
So yeah, I would say a savory, you know, to that definition. Something that's savory that uses meat, vegetables, or water or milk or broth. There you go.
But
So-
milk
so is it-
evaporates.
So is
though.
cereal a soup? No.
No, okay.
Just because it does use milk as a base, but it's a sweet thing. It's not savory. I don't know any savory cereals.
You can make one.
Because is oatmeal a soup?
No.
But you can make it soupy.
And you made it wrong. You shouldn't eat it like that.
I don't like cereal or milk.
Good question though. So no, cereal is not a soup.
So you like soupy oatmeal?
Okay, it depends on what you add. If you add milk, I do like some reserve milk, so it's not so dry or chewy.
Okay.
You know, so if you have some residue of milk and it's not like when you, I don't know if you had ube before.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, but it's like if you keep mixing it, it gets thicker.
Okay, yeah, I think I know what that is now.
Okay, so like if the oatmeal, like you're stirring it and it's like thick as hell, yeah, that's not something I want to eat. I kind of like it kind of milky.
You don't want it to get stuck in your throat.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you don't lose like subscribers.
No,
right?
well, I don't know.
I want you to give an unpopular opinion.
Okay. Oh, just give one, just random
Yeah,
one.
like your unpopular opinion.
Geez, that's tough. Biologically, shit. Unpopular opinion. Trying to think of one that. Okay, ask me is that the last question?
No, I got one more.
Okay, go ahead and give me that one more
Okay.
so I could think of it.
How would you describe colors to blind people? I thought about this and it really frustrated me because I didn't know how.
Okay, this is funny because Claire, you haven't watched her podcast. She's one of our guests and she was one that started the very first podcast with us. So go ahead and watch her episode. She did ask me a question like this: how would I describe my favorite color to a blind person? And so I just learned today your favorite color is orange.
Yes.
What?
Like a peachy orange color.
Yeah. So my favorite color is actually orange as well. And so she was
Never
like,
mind, I changed my color. It's not orange.
So she was like, how would you describe your favorite color to a blind person? And the example I gave her was the way the sun feels against your skin.
I don't remember that. I just hand them an orange.
Yeah, but they feel it. It's rough. You give them my nutsack. Is my nutsack orange?
I'm trying to think of what the sun feels like now.
So, okay, you say you
It feels warm,
the warmth of the sun.
but I think you identify warmth with orange because you know what fire looks like.
Well,
They don't know what fire
but
looks like.
they don't. But then that's how I would describe it to somebody that can't see. You know, so for them it's a feeling. For me, it's the feeling because of that that relation.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, oh my, I just thought of how I would describe, like, you know, the color black.
Oh.
It's just like what you see.
Wait, what if they see white?
I would, because when I close my eyes, I see black. That's how I would describe it.
But that's because your eyes work.
Exactly.
What if they see white?
So the way
So true. I'm looking at the light right now. I see white.
I don't know. See, it changes for everything. Like you'd have to give me a color, and then I'd have to say, okay, what can I think of for your body to feel what I feel when I see this color? You know, because you could ask, you know, somebody else and like, hey, how would you describe what orange feels like? Because everybody feels orange because it's my favorite color.
It feels spicy.
Because orange is my favorite color, I describe it fondly, you know, as to a blind person. But then say if it's like, oh, green, I'll just, you know, feel this couch. That's green. You know, I'm not going to think about it too much because it's just like, it's kind of hard to describe a color to blind people when you don't see that color as fondly. So, yeah, I don't know. That's tough. It's hard to describe a color, but it would just be probably emotions. Like probably if you would describe, because people say you're green with envy, you know, that would be, yes, that's how you would describe green, that feeling or emotion.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. So going back to your
Unpopular opinion.
I retract my previous statement.
You didn't make a statement. You
I
said
didn't finish
one
my
word.
I didn't finish my statement, but I retracted anyways.
Okay.
I don't want people to know exactly where I was going with that. But my unpopular opinion is a lot of words that are banned today should not be banned.
Oh, dang.
I want to ask you for an example, but I don't want you to get in trouble.
I know. Ooh. You get canceled, I get canceled.
No,
so
no, okay,
think about this.
Okay, let's say let's not say. I'm going to. So this is a lot of it. This is going to be cut out during the audio version because there's going to be long pauses in between. But I want to say, let's say, what word do I want to go with? Trying to go with a word that's not so bad.
But if it's banned, it's bad.
Exactly. Okay. Let's go with the R word.
Okay.
Okay. Any word.
Some people are like, what's the R word?
Okay, so the R word.
Mind your business.
Yeah,
just to describe it. The R word was used before for people that couldn't describe handicaps. Certain type of handicaps. Would that be a good description?
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel the reason why words get banned is because people are too in their feelings. and they want to cancel people just because they said derogatory terms. Any word
or something they take as derogatory.
that's the thing. I'm just gonna get into where it's like any word can be derogatory. You know, you see a dog, but you could call a person a dog. You know, like derogatorily, and it's like, what? Why does this word have to be banned if you don't use it in a derogatory way? You know, and I just think it was made for a reason. It's in Webster's. There's a definition there. I don't know if it's still in there or if we cancel Webster's. Do we cancel Webster's? Because all these terms.
Yeah, we use Urban Dictionary now.
That's the thing. We are digressing as a society. If we're going on what is it, Urban Dictionary instead of Merriam-Webster's, like. I think abbreviations for LOL are in Merriam-Webster's, so it's so funny that this generation and the stuff that they feel is dictating where our society is going. So that's my unpopular opinion.
That's a pretty good opinion. Not as bad as I thought.
I picked the lesser of two evils.
I'll ask you again when the podcast is over.
Exactly. That will be on the Patreon. No, I don't have a Patreon. Not yet. I mean, I gotta create a freaking whole team just to do something like that. But okay. So thank you for those questions. That was a long pause. So I'm going to have to cut a lot of those long pauses off because I had to think about those questions. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the question of the day. And this one was provided by Rochelle.
Okay.
And her socials are at SHELL_BELLE 5. So it's Shell_Bell 5. And her question of the day is, when did you screw everything up, but nobody ever found out it was you? So I want to see, do you ever, first off, did you ever have anything like that in the military?
I started 4 years ago on this date when I first signed up.
Really?
Yeah, today's the anniversary.
Today?
Yeah.
Anniversary.
This was not scheduled.
That's when I messed it up.
But nobody, now everybody found out.
Now everybody knows.
So you think you messed up by joining?
No, actually, when I first joined, I thought it was the worst thing of my ever. When I first slept in the bunk beds over there at basic training, I was like, why did I do this to myself? I'm now the R word. But think about it now, I think it was like the best thing I've ever done.
Okay.
The military has given me things that I don't think I could have gotten in like a different career.
Yeah.
And I don't mean by like benefits, but just like internally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in your personal life, have you ever you did something and somebody else got blamed for it?
Okay, actually, this happened while I was in the military.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so we were at the range one day, like the shooting range.
Yeah.
We were qualifying with our weapons. And, like the Humvees, which is like, those tactical vehicles that are in all the movies.
Yes. They're like Hummers.
Yeah, like a Hummer. There's like different kinds with like different levels of protectiveness, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And there was one parked that had just like plexiglass, not plexiglass, but like glass with like that film on it so it doesn't shatter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the windows were made of that.
Yeah.
And I got into an argument with somebody like right in front of the truck, and I closed the door and it shattered the window because there was a box inside, like a plastic box, and it shattered the window. And then, I turned around and we were arguing back and forth. And then somebody that was in charge of us came up behind and was like, who broke the window? And then we both looked and we're just like, it was already like that. We just walked away. So, I guess I never really got caught for that.
Okay, yeah.
Or else they would have charged me for a window.
Really? They would have charged you?
Yeah, the military charges you for everything
that you mess up. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, I didn't know that. Have you ever heard of somebody that got charged for something?
It happens like all the time. So it's like if they give you gear and you don't return it all, then they'll charge you for it.
Like in what sense? Say like I know like you guys get assigned firearms. Use a bullet. They don't charge you for every bullet.
No, not like that. But like protective equipment we have. Right. So whenever you leave a base, you have to return it all.
Yeah.
So like let's say I lost my helmet, right?
Yeah.
And
okay, say you're in active duty, right? You're in an active war zone. You get shot at, blows off your helmet. You're okay. You like okay, you retire from the military. Yeah, you can go back and get your helmet.
no, so your commanders can like
Write it off.
Yeah, write it off basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So like he got shot in the head, so his helmet's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's still here with us, unfortunately.
That's probably what they would say. Some of them.
Okay. I don't think I've ever. Okay, I'm trying to think of in my life where I did something that somebody else got caught for. You know.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything like that either.
Yeah, because I'm
a good kid.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a good kid. I just usually fess up.
Okay.
You know, where it's just like, hey, I do get, especially like at work, right? You know, they say that there's some people where if you made a mistake, they stay quiet. Okay, maybe if I just
ignore it, it'll
go away. Yeah. I'm just like, oh shoot, that was my bad. You know, just like I can fix it because there's nothing. Okay, I can't say there's nothing, but you know, a lot of my work deals with paperwork. So if something gets messed up, it's just something you can easily fix. So, yeah, that good question. Good question.
Sorry, I couldn't answer it.
No, I felt like you answered it pretty well. So on that note, as you can hear, it is time for our TikTok challenge. So I am really bad at this. I actually have 4 TikToks I have not done, and I apologize because that's a month's worth of TikToks already. So I'm trying to, you know, we went on a foam run? It was a foam run, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we went on a foam run, and I wanted to do one of the challenges there, but it got so hyped because after the run, they were playing music and they're doing foam everywhere, and I was like,
just in the moment.
Yeah, I was in the moment. And I was just like, damn, what I was wearing, I could have done one of the TikToks. Because they actually, May was supposed to participate, but she injured her leg. And her group wore tutus. So I wore a tutu while I was doing the run with them. And it was at night, so it was like...
But you weren't a part of the group, right? You
I wasn't a part of
you wanted it?
No. Yeah, I took her spot because I wanted to. So... I was just like, man, I could have done one of these TikToks there, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance to, and I'm trying to find a time to do it that's actually funny because I don't want to just do the challenges and like, I'm done. You know, I actually want to make it entertaining.
What if in the future you have your guests do them?
That's the thing. I don't want to put pressure on them because I'm already putting pressure on them to have questions for me, have a movie that they want to talk about, you know, just them driving out here is, you know, all I could ask for.
Long, treacherous 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, you're close, but, you know, some people are further.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I don't give too much to them, and I want to provide something that they had for me since, you know, they made the trek out here.
Very considerate. Very considerate.
Yeah. You know, tit for tat. So... All right. So what's your TikTok challenge for me?
I don't know if it has like a name or not.
Okay.
But I've seen TikToks where they say, I don't want to say the bad word because that's a bad word. But they go, it's time to play another round of whack and then followed by the F word. And it's usually people like.
Wait, whack fuck?
Like, yeah. I don't know if I could say the word or not on here.
No.
Okay, yeah. So it's usually like people, or it started with people playing golf and like their buddies would record them and say, we're playing another round of whack fuck here, and then the guy would swing, and the guy recording, or like the person would swing at the golf ball, and the person recording say whack, and then the person would mess up their hit, and they'd yell "fuck." So I wanted you to do it, but with volleyball. I wanted you to say "whack" as you hit the ball, and then spike it in somebody's face, and then they say the F word.
So
I got the perfect person to do
wait,
that
so
too.
I have they have to know it's coming at their face.
Yes,
Preferably not.
Okay.
preferably not.
Well,
Preferably not.
but then that's the thing. Like, how could I make them say fuck then?
You just use the sound on TikTok.
Oh, so you just want me to spike it in somebody's face?
Yes.
But that's
Easy.
it's easy, but I don't.
And I want you to do it. I want you
I know
to jump up there and spike the ball.
exactly. Like,
It's a challenge. You got to do it. And I know the perfect person. And you know who I'm talking about.
I don't know, but
Yeah, you do.
you could tell me later. But the thing now, but if they're listening, they're like, "Fuck, I'm
Say the name. Say the name.
No, they're just like, okay, now that Mark has a spike at somebody's face, he's gonna be aiming for faces now. Hopefully, not a lot of them are watching yet. Okay, I'll, typically we try not to do this, but okay.
No, you got to do it.
It's a must.
All right, so
I'll record it too.
you got to start recording everything then.
I'll record it with a
you can,
smile on
like,
my face.
Plan it, I guess, right? So
I can plan it, but then the thing is, if I plan it, the other person that I'm supposed to hit has to know too.
you could just tell them that, you could just tell them to catch the ball. You
Oh,
throw it at their face or something.
okay. We'll do something volleyball face, something that won't get them to. We'll see. All right. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. And we're back. And as we close the show, I want to end this one. I don't know if I should be calling it a quote of the day or quote of the week, because we're
It should be week since
the
you do
week, right?
weekly
Yeah.
episodes.
So we're gonna change that question of the week, and here's the inspirational quote of the week. This one comes from our 16th U.S. president. You happen to know who that is?
No idea.
Guess. Take a guess.
16?
16th.
One of the Adams.
Nope. John Adams was the second one, wasn't he?
I don't know.
It's with the J, right?
No.
Not good with history.
What does it start with?
A.
Andrew.
No. Abolish slavery.
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
I knew that.
All right. So his quote was, "The best way to predict your future is to create it." So that's pretty deep. Too bad.
And that's a fact.
Too bad his future was stolen. Wah, wah, wah.
I don't have that button.
I know. That's why I created it myself. All right. So, if you guys know anybody that actually wants to be on the podcast, go ahead and send me their info on either DM me on Instagram or send it to the @gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and reach out to them to try and be on the show. So, do you have any shout outs you want to do?
I have to shout out Teresa or I'm going to die.
Shout out.
I knew you were afraid of her.
And
I
then
knew it.
secondly, George, because I think his birthday was yesterday.
Happy
I thought it was
George.
today.
I'm not. It's either yesterday or today.
I greeted him this morning. I was like, happy
Big
birthday.
claps for
And
George.
he texted me and said I had to do it too.
And
So
if you guys don't know who George is, you'll see him in 2 weeks. He'll be on the show in 2
it'll be
weeks.
the lowest rated podcast.
So, that was your shout.
Yeah, that's all.
All right.
And you for letting me come on.
Thank you for showing up. You know, I don't let people come on. I'll invite
Did I
anybody.
say you saw that right?
It's your prerogative that was like, okay, I will be in front of the camera and I will answer your questions. So thank you. But yeah, live shows are on Twitch and YouTube. So go ahead and follow the socials if you guys want to be kept up to date. For our audio listeners, the shows, I didn't actually post the last show. I will have to get that to you guys as soon as possible. I'm falling behind here, man.
TikToks,
I know.
not-
It's rough. You know, I never knew the amount of I knew the amount of time that I had to take, but it's just tough sometimes. Last week was a long week for me, long weekend. So I'll probably get 2 episodes tomorrow for our audio listeners. And that will be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. So just search the Question Mark Podcast. Thank you guys for watching or listening. Thank you, Mono, for being here again. I appreciate you all. And especially in these times, I'm wishing everybody peace, love, and sanity.
Yeah.